Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Blueford branch of the Kansas City Public Library. April is National Poetry Month, and for April of 2022, I am reciting or reading poems by Horace, a Roman poet of the 1st century BCE during the Augustan age. The translation that I'm using is that of David Ferry. Horace was not directly connected to the court of Augustus, but of course he was sort of on the side of Augustus. And the poem that we're going to look at today, poem 37 in Book 1 of the Odes, is about Cleopatra. So in 31 BCE, the forces of Cleopatra and Mark Antony were defeated by Augustus, at that point just he called Octavian, and his admiral Agrippa, who was sort of the engineer of the victory at Actium. It was the sea battle. Now, this of course was mixed news for the Romans, because on the one hand there was Mark Antony, who up till then had been a leader of Rome, but he's now sort of defeated. But on the other hand, Cleopatra, who is seen as much more a foreign figure, is also defeated. So this poem is actually sort of was composed after that defeat. So poem 37 from Book 1 of Horace's Odes, Cleopatra. At last the day has come for celebration, for dancing and for drinking, bringing out the couches with their images of gods adorned in preparation for the feast. Before today, it would have been wrong to call for the festive Caicubun wine from the vintage bins. It would have been wrong while that besotted queen with her vile gang of sick, polluted creatures, crazed with hope and drunk with her past successes, was planning the death and destruction of the empire. But comrades, she came to and sobered up when not one ship, almost, of all her fleet escaped unburned, and Caesar saw to it that she was restored from madness to a state of realistic terror. The way a hawk chases a frightened dove, or a hunter chases a hare across the snowy steppes, his galleys chased the fleeing queen, intending to put the monster prodigy into chains and bring her back to Rome. But she desired a nobler fate than that. She did not seek to hide her remnant fleet in a secret harbor, nor did she, like a woman, quail with fear at the thought of what it is the dagger does. She grew more fierce as she beheld her death. Bravely, as if unmoved, she looked upon the ruins of her palace, bravely reached out and touched the poisoned snakes, and picked them up and handled them, and held them to her so her heart might drink its fill of their black venom. In truth, no abject woman she scorned in triumph to be brought in galleys, unqueened, across the seas, to Rome to be a show. So, the poem about Cleopatra in defeat. Initially, the image is that she is this drunken queen, and she's got these crazy people on her side, and so they have to be defeated by the forces of order. And then she's compared to an animal that would flee a hawk. So this is sort of Caesar's the hawk, which is not always a good thing. And she's on the run, but then she refuses to submit and rather accepts death, which of course is sort of a Roman way of going out, right? It's sort of like in Japan, right? You commit harakiri rather than accept the shame. And so rather than be a show for the Roman public, she chose to take her own life and therefore cheat the Romans of that victory. So there's some begrudging admiration for Cleopatra at the end of the poem.